Hey everyone, now let's explore a really cool thing that happens in the world of celebrities. I'm talking about those awesome moments when our favorite stars stand up to rude interviewers and showing they won't take any nonsense. So here we go to the top 12 celebrities who fired back at rude interviewers.
Oh, universe.
Starting our list at number 12 is Anne Hathaway. When Anne Hathaway was doing an interview for her movie One Day, the interviewer started hinting about her wearing a cat suit in another film. He kind of suggested she had to fit into it in a certain way.
How do you fit into that suit?
Anne laughed it off and didn't directly answer the body-related question, jokingly saying it takes a team and a lot of work to fit into that suit. Then when the interviewer pressed about her weight, Anne seemed a bit annoyed but kept it cool, saying she's putting in a lot of effort to become the character.
How much weight have you lost to get into this shape right now?
You did not just ask me that
No, I'm
question.
just saying, you're like...
What a forward young man you are.
I'm not saying you needed to lose weight. I'm just saying that you look...
I've worked very hard to become Selena Kyle.
The interviewer apologized and Anne, with a laugh, said she was just messing around and wasn't really offended. It was kinda awkward though, but Anne handled it with grace. At number 11, we have Mel Gibson. Barbra Streisand has strict rules for interviews, even controlling camera angles. Mel Gibson faced uncomfortable moments in interviews. In a 2022 Fox interview, he dodged a question about the Oscar slap incident. Back in the 90s, Gibson left the MTV Awards due to discomfort. His brother thinks Hollywood changed him negatively. Due to his interview history, Gibson and his team are cautious about what they say. During the 2022 Fox News interview, Gibson didn't like a question about the Oscar slap and didn't answer. His team abruptly ended the interview.
I was wondering if, you had been the one that jumped up out of his seat and slapped Chris Rock, if you would have been treated the same way, Mel.
Hello, Jesse. Thank you. That's our time.
In the past, at the MTV Awards, Gibson felt upset with the questioning by Janine Garofalo and left the event. He was irritated by her questions like, "What do you think of my dress?" MTV later apologized, calling it a mix-up. Number 10, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy had a heated moment during the premiere of Legend at the Toronto Film Festival in 2015. While discussing his role as openly gay gangster Ronnie Cray, a reporter asked about his own sexuality. Hardy was taken aback, asking for clarification, and eventually ended the conversation bluntly.
Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
I was referring to an interview given to Attitude magazine.
Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
It was a pretty uncomfortable situation, prompting Hardy to shut it down swiftly. This incident highlighted the importance of respecting personal boundaries in interviews. Hardy's response made it clear that some questions cross the line and celebrities deserve respect for their private lives. Number 9, Samuel L. Jackson. In this interview of Samuel L. Jackson in 2014 by a KTLA reporter, he got mistaken for Lawrence Fishburne, and you won't believe how he handled it.
Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? I've been my mistake.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault. My mistake. You know what?
We don't all look alike.
Father, you're
We may
exactly
be all
right.
black and famous,
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
I am guilty.
I'm busted.
Instead of getting mad, he made jokes about it and set the record straight. Later on, he shared the whole thing in other interviews, laughing it off. What's even funnier, he fired the guy who mixed them up years ago during an audition. Number 8, Scarlett Johansson. When Scarlett Johansson was promoting her role as Black Widow, a reporter asked her an uncomfortable and disrespectful question about her costume. The journalist asked if she wore underwear under the skin-tight outfit. Johansson was upset and rightly questioned why people were asking such inappropriate things during the interviews. She cleverly responded, saying it was up to imagination what she wore under the costume.
Able to wear undergarments, if
You're
you will?
like the fifth person that's asked me
Well, no,
that.
because
What is going on?
Since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear?
No, because it is such a skin tight. Here's
I'll
why.
leave it up to your imagination.
The reporter tried to justify the question, but Johansson didn't accept it. She pointed out that no one asks male directors about their underwear. She's been vocal about these types of questions, feeling they objectify her. In another instance, when asked about her character's costume change in Avengers: Infinity War, she found it irrelevant and didn't know how to respond. Number 7. Robert Downey Jr. Now, the interview started off well enough, but things changed when the interviewer brought up personal topics unrelated to the film. When asked about a quote from the past, Robert Downey Jr. seemed confused and calmly mentioned that his views had changed since then. However, the interviewer crossed the line by delving into Downey Jr.'s late father and his past drug use, which visibly upset the actor. Feeling his anger rising, Downey Jr. abruptly ended the interview.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions. That's all.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
are you? I'm sorry.
Afterward, Downey Jr. expressed his frustration. He criticized the interviewer for focusing on his personal past rather than discussing his movie roles. He highlighted the inappropriate nature of the questions, particularly in an interview meant for promoting a film, not delving into private matters. Now, before we continue, let's take a quick breather. If you're already amazed by these star-studded clapbacks, say something in the comments and get ready for more. Join us as we move on to the rest of the list. At number 6 is Quentin Tarantino. During an interview, Krishnan Guru Murthy clashed with Tarantino over movie violence in Django Unchained. Guru Murthy pressed Tarantino about the impact of movie violence on real-life behavior, which angered the director. Tarantino firmly defended his stance that movies are fantasy and don't influence real violence. When Guru Murthy insisted on discussing the link between enjoying movie violence and real violence, Tarantino refused to engage and firmly shut down the conversation, asserting it was none of Guru Murthy's business what he thought about the matter.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune.
I'm
not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
It's interesting that you have a different view, and I'm just trying to explore that.
Yeah, and I don't want to. Because I'm here to sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie. Make no mistake.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out. That's the only reason.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
This incident showcased Tarantino's refusal to entertain intrusive questions and highlighted the importance of respecting interviewees' boundaries. At number 5 is Jerry Seinfeld. In a 2007 interview, Larry King asked Jerry Seinfeld if his show Seinfeld was canceled, implying Seinfeld ended it. Seinfeld, who actually chose to end the show, seemed surprised and asked King if he knew who he was.
I said, how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did, sir.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented.
Is this
still CNN?
Don't most shows go down a little?
Most people do also.
Despite the awkwardness, King managed to mention Seinfeld's B-movie. The uncomfortable interview has gone viral multiple times and has been seen as Seinfeld criticizing King. Recently, Seinfeld clarified his response, saying he'll miss King and always respected him. According to Seinfeld, his reaction in the clip was just a joke, not meant to disrespect a TV legend like Larry King. Seinfeld's explanation shows that the story was blown out of proportion, and just like his sitcom, the whole incident seems like a fuss over nothing. At number 4 is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had a major meltdown during the lead-up to his fight with Lennox Lewis in 2002. The tension between them was high and things exploded when Tyson lost his cool with a reporter at a press conference. During the press conference, a reporter shouted something that angered Tyson, leading him to unleash a furious and extremely offensive tirade. He verbally attacked the reporter with threatening and derogatory language, shocking everyone present.
Lewis certainly isn't that type of person. We saw the same sort of situation with House and Rock. Mike Tyson screaming curses out in the crowd. I don't even know what he's talking specifically.
Tyson's terrifying outburst stunned the audience before the fight. Despite his aggressive behavior, Tyson ended up losing the fight to Lewis in the 8th round. Number 3, Rihanna. You know how it goes with celebs, they're often put on the spot with uncomfortable questions during interviews. While Aubrey Plaza seems to enjoy the awkwardness, most stars find it cringeworthy when interviewers cross the line. Take Rihanna, for instance. She was seriously annoyed when asked about Ashton Kutcher. She's a master at shutting down those nosy questions.
I just wondered if you are as happy in your private life, and will we be seeing a certain Mr. Ashton Kutcher perhaps making a trip over here?
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
Should we move on to another one?
Absolutely.
I think there was a question. We've got to move on. I think
I'm
there's a
happy
question
and I'm
here.
single, if that's what you were really asking.
Remember that reporter who got too personal about her love life? Rihanna shut it down with style, and that's how you handle a rude interviewer. Second to the last on our list, at number 2, is Tom Cruise. During a 2005 interview on 60 Minutes, Tom Cruise got upset when journalist Peter Overton asked about his ex-wife, Nicole Kidman. Overton asked if Nicole was the love of his life, which visibly annoyed Cruise. Cruise responded, feeling the question was intrusive, saying, "How do you answer that question?" When Overton asked about their relationship post-divorce, Cruise got defensive, stating that the journalist crossed the line and needed to be more polite. Cruise criticized Overton for stepping over the line with his questions and told him to take responsibility for what he wanted to know. He insisted that Overton needed to put his manners back in. When Overton asked if he was out of the line, Cruise firmly replied, "Yes, absolutely."
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
And do you have a relationship where you talk? It's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's.
Listen? Here's the thing, Peter. Yeah. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions though, that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
Overton apologized sincerely for the discomfort caused by his questions. And finally, at the top of our list, number 1, it's none other than Kanye West. During an interview with podcaster Tim Pool, Kanye West, also known as Ye, went on an anti-Semitic rant. When Pool lightly challenged Ye's anti-Semitic comments, Ye got upset and walked off the show, accompanied by white supremacist Nick Fuentes and right-wing troll Milo Yiannopoulos. Ye ranted for about 20 minutes, making wild claims about a Zionist plot at Adidas, Canadian deep state agents, and a Jewish cabal controlling banking and media. He targeted Jared Kushner and Ram Emanuel, both Jewish, with anti-Semitic comments.
Yeah. I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they, though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking about.
It is them, though, isn't it? I mean, because because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?